just you. Come on in. Welcome to the Scumm Bar. Welcome to the Scumm Bar Podcast, episode 41, where we talk movies, video games, pop culture, books, Vlad the Impaler, and everything in between. I'm your host, Mattbrush, and with me today, a semi-special guest. He was special, but he's gone down a few pegs. Let's see if we can bring him back on. His name is...
Anth0z.
Oh, he's come back up a peg. He's now special again. Oh! What a special guest.
Have we not said Vlad the Impaler before? I swear we have. Or maybe we just...
I think we've mentioned Vlad the Impaler. We talked about him in a quiz.
That's right. It was a quiz. Yeah. That's right. Okay.
He's come up quite a bit in my life, weirdly enough, so I just wanted to write him in there because it's like, you know what? The coincidences are too many. I'll just throw him in.
Now, why do you think that is?
I don't know. You know when there's just like one thing in your life that keeps happening?
It's Vlad the Impaler.
For me, it's Vlad the Impaler right now.
It just keeps coming up in your life currently in present day.
You know what, Vlad? All right, I'll take it. Anth0z, want to hear a pirate joke?
Usually.
Usually you do. You're right. But this time, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks for clarifying.
What's a pirate's favorite fish?
Favorite fish? Sea bass, tilapia, salmon, tuna, red snapper, stingray. I don't know. There's no way I can't. I don't know. What?
Goldfish.
Man. I went the other direction, but okay.
Yeah, you went to like fish to catch. This was more fish for vanity.
I can't stray away from attempting or thinking that it's going to be some sort of punny joke.
Yeah.
You know, like a relationship. Like that's right, you know. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Anth0z,
cool.
What's
anyway,
going
thanks.
on? Let's what's going on? What's new with you? It's been a spell.
So I was telling you earlier that I don't have my splint on anymore.
Splint.
So thank
free.
you all you great listeners for sending me your bone healing energy, sending me your thoughts of calcium and vitamin D3 and K2 mixed with magnesium and boron.
Oh wow. That's some scientific accuracy right there.
Some information that I took with me from my last job.
But
yeah, so it's good. My bone is healing. I can start using it with like daily activities. Can't do heavy lifting yet, but that'll be something I can work up to in the next what, 8 weeks. Well, 4 to 8 weeks, just depending on how much milk I drink.
I missed the opportunity to call you Splinter.
Oh,
I really should have. Can you talk like him? Do your best impersonation of Splinter.
Turtles. That's probably the best I can do. I probably can't say any other words. It would just be that.
Not bad.
And really, I thought I sounded more like Shredder there.
Well, maybe you did. I'm not sure.
I also can't hear because I have the headphones on, so that's why. Like, if anybody ever wonders back at home or wherever you are while you're listening to this, why I always talk so loud, it's because I have those headphones that cover my full ear and it muffles how I hear myself, and so I'm really just screaming at home all the time, and I'm ignoring all my neighbors knocking on the walls trying to tell me to shut up.
His wife is walking back and forth, just like hoping that he'll turn it down.
It's actually my wife that's going around to the other neighbors and knocking on the walls, saying,
just to fend them off and fight them back like The Walking Dead. And you're just in there just podcasting.
Exactly.
I don't know what's really new with me, but I'm gonna try to show you this to see if this is dramatic or not. So here we go. Is this dramatic?
Wait, did you just turn off the lights so that you could do this?
Watch me. I didn't turn off the lights, but I turned on the lights.
Oh, I go okay. I'm like, what happened? How come? What did you do?
Well, this whole time talking to you, I had the lights turned off. But guess what? We got ourselves a smart light in the house.
Nice.
This is one of them lights that you can like change the colors and stuff. It's kind of hard to tell. It's green right now, but there's lighting from the monitors and stuff. But now it's red. You can sort of see it there. No, there.
Nah, I can't.
It's kind of red there. No, you can't see that?
No.
It's red right there? No? Okay.
No.
Anyways, it's so we don't really want to get into like the whole smart home kind of thing, but we were at Costco the other day and we saw smart lights for $29.99 to get 3 in a pack, and it's those Philips light bulbs, which are the regular light bulbs we already buy anyways.
Oh, the Philips Hue?
Yeah, exactly. It's those ones, and then but it's done by its own company called something. I think they just buy the same light bulbs from Philips and then they rebrand it. Anyways, they add their smart technology into the bulb itself, and then you just set up your Wi-Fi to the part in the bulb. So you're controlling it locally. So I don't have to worry about like a smart home kind of device or anything like that. I'm just controlling my light bulbs this way. And the main reason we want to do this is for like a deterrence kind of thing. If we're going to go away, we want to have our lights still operating so it looks like we're still home. And also scheduling so that when we're coming home at night or when we're at night or when it gets to nighttime, the lights just come on outside and stuff. So
that's so smart.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's we tried it just to see how it'd be, and it's working really well. So we're really happy with it.
Sorry, can you explain that again? So how? Okay, so on your phone, you use an app.
Yes, it's an app on our phone we download, and really, in a techie sense, what's happening is there's a device in the light bulb that's got a bunch of local variables on it, right? That are setting for what's going to turn this light on. Otherwise, it's just a regular light bulb. Then what the app does is it communicates with that light bulb, and it tells it all those variables based on what you want. So you could set a whole bunch of parameters if you want to, or set very little if you want to, and then that light bulb will turn on and off based on those parameters. Now, the way it stays set is it's connected to your Wi-Fi. So
so as long as your Wi-Fi is working, then it'll work.
If your Wi-Fi turns off, I don't know what happens, but I believe if my Wi-Fi turns off, then what's going to happen is the lights are just going to turn into a regular light at that point. So,
okay, that would be a good failsafe because I was thinking it would be. It just would be kind of pointless if the Wi-Fi went out and then the bulb just goes out. But
if I programmed these things, what would have done is made it so that variable stays. So if the Wi-Fi turns off, like if it shuts off communication now with the internet, there's also a chance that maybe it just stays with whatever preset you've already put on it because there's nothing telling it to change, right? It's just staying at that same communication. So maybe it does just stay on the same schedule of whatever you last set it to when the Wi-Fi cuts out. I don't really know.
Okay, so you can actually set a timer for it.
Yep, you can set timers. You can do lots of different things with it. You can set like different timers for changing how the light is. You can set colors and like set different like behaviors and moods and things. Or you can set it so that it turns on and off based on proximity. So if my phone is a certain proximity to the light, it'll just automatically turn on. So we haven't tried that one out as much. I'm not really one of those people that has my phone on me at all times, so proximity doesn't work as well. But scheduling and timing works really well for me. So yeah.
Aside from the app, though, can you still flick a switch on the wall?
Yeah.
And it'll work?
Yeah. It can act as a normal light. Yeah.
Does the switch have to be on the on?
The switch has to remain on
working
all the time. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Because otherwise, like I was thinking for the times when you're gone and then Wi-Fi were to be, if the Wi-Fi stopped for whatever reason, then the switch, in order for it to turn back onto regular bulb, it would make more sense if the switch was already on. Okay, so that makes sense. Because I wanted to get some bulbs as well.
Oh yeah.
I think I might have mentioned this before. Like I wanted to get different colors to put, I guess, just like in different places in the home, just to have some more like fun mood lighting and stuff like that.
Well, what's cool is you can also like have regular lighting and then also have like your preset patterns. So maybe you want to just have that mood for a little bit. Maybe you're watching a movie and you want to have like some cool mood going. You're gonna watch Aquaman, so you put on blue lighting or something. I don't know. So you can set that just for the movie time if you wanted to, and have it toggle for that.
I just thought of something. So I saw on Facebook, somebody asked, should I watch the prequel to Aquaman before watching it? And it was so there was a poster of Aquaman on the right. On the left is a poster of the Waterboy, Adam Sandler's Waterboy.
Waterboy.
Water sucks. It really, really sucks.
Oh man, that's a blast from the past. How 90s is that movie? Holy smokes.
Is that 90s? Or is that like early 2000s?
Is it early 2000s? Like I feel like that's right smack dab in the late 90s. I'm gonna say 98.
2001.
Really? I don't give it that new.
98. Darn. Nice.
Yes.
Good job, Mattbrush.
It just feels like a 90s film, only based on my year actually, because I would see it on TV all the time. And I feel like based on the times I was watching movies on TV all the time on Superstation, it would be Waterboy.
Yeah, so I guess like when I'm picturing how it looks, to me, it looks like a movie that somebody decided to put together in the 2000s, but they were stuck in the 90s, I guess. So like, I guess it looks like, but
Here's a question, though, and I actually don't know the answer to this. What came first, Waterboy or Happy Gilmore?
I'll definitely say Happy Gilmore.
Okay. I didn't know what year Happy Gilmore came out in.
I see.
To me, they both came out around the same time, but maybe they didn't.
I think Happy Gilmore was like early 90s.
Now, is Wedding Singer early 80s?
I will tell you. Hold on. Happy Gilmore in 1996.
I'm going to say Wedding Singer is late 80s.
Okay. So Wedding Singer. So Happy Gilmore was 1996.
Okay.
Wedding Singer. What? Wedding Singer was 98?
Whoa. Wow.
He was busy.
Yeah, he was. So it actually went Happy Gilmore, Wedding Singer, then Waterboy?
Yeah, because Wedding Singer is February 1998. And
I would not have got that.
Waterboy. Wait, where'd you go? Waterboy release date.
Where'd you go?
Where'd you go? Where did you come from? Where did you go? So November 1998 was the Waterboy. Wow.
Waterboy.
Good for you, Mr. Sandler. I just got my friend's reference. It just reminded me of when Chandler was having a flashback to like Thanksgiving at home when he was a kid, and then I'm sure I've used this reference before, but it's when the ladyboy nanny is there, and he's serving like little boy Chandler, and he's like, more turkey, Mr. Chandler.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That's the one.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Wow, there it is. There's the friend reference. Anth0z, do you have some real news for me? Do you have something actually going on?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Okay, so, I would say the biggest thing that I can think of right now would be the LCS Worlds Final. So League of Legends World Finals is taking place.
Okay.
This coming Saturday this Saturday our time, but I guess it would be Friday night in where is it? I think it's taking place in Berlin.
Is this every country fighting?
Every country is fighting.
Like,
yes, they're just fighting.
Like, is it like a World
They're not
Cup?
even playing League of Legends.
Like
they're just like getting
World
together.
Cup?
It's blood sport. It's just blood sport. That's what it is.
What was that? What was that roller derby blood ball movie that came out? People were roller skating and they would kill each other. I think it was called like Bloodsport or something, wasn't it?
No, Bloodsport was the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie.
Oh,
where he gets blinded and he has to fight in the finals like blind. And I think it's the same one where is it the same one? Yeah. I think it's the same one where he learns to do like Muay Thai training. So he like kicks down that tree. Like he's trying to break his bones so that he can like strengthen them.
Yeah.
And he also does that weird dance, where he's wearing like those parachute white kind of khaki pants and like a blank tank top, and he gets drunk.
Yeah,
and then he's dancing with this girl, and all these guys are trying to like beat him up, but he's like dance fighting them. He's like this French drunk boxer guy. And anyway, sorry.
The movie I was thinking of was Rollerball, by the way. I recommend you check out Rollerball. It's pretty funny. It was in a time when The Matrix was popular.
I'm going to look this up because, so when I was a kid, I used to watch, I think it was just called Extreme Roller Derby. And I don't know if it was real or fake or a mixture of both, but it was, so it was just roller derby, and it just seemed so over the top. Like, they'd be like winding up to do like their special moves or something like that, but like you could see these moves coming from miles away, but the other team wouldn't react until they actually got hit. And it's like, what? You could definitely like, I don't know. But yeah, it was fun to watch. I always, I really like watching this one team. I think they were from Seattle or something like that, but they wore black jerseys, and maybe the captain, he looked like my dad, but he's talked with like a much higher pitched voice. And I think that was partially why. Oh, he reminded me of Goldberg from WCW at the time.
Goldberg.
So that's also why I liked him, because he was kind of like this 3-in-1 person. I'm like, oh, this guy's so cool. He's like my dad, and he's also Goldberg, but he's also a roller skater who like is beating people up. But cool, like this is fun. Anyway, I used to watch that as a kid. So for all you out there who also used to watch it, High five. Anyway, sorry. Back to the news. Yield news. Right. So LCS Worlds Finals coming out this coming Saturday. It'll be against G2. I think this is their first time being in the finals, isn't it? Yeah. This is the first time being in the finals. They made it to semifinals before. This is the first time making it to finals. Mm-hmm. They are a Spanish team from, I think they're based out in Berlin, Germany as well. That's even better. It's taking place in Berlin. So that's like kind of like home team-ish. Versus FPX, which stands for Fun Plus Phoenix. So they're
Fun plus a Phoenix as well.
Yeah.
The band Fun plus the Phoenix from Harry Potter. That's what I'm expecting.
Nice. Yes. Oh, that's a cool combo. Anyway, so they're from China. I think this is the first time they've been in Worlds Finals or Worlds at all, like competing in Worlds. So good for them for making it this far. I'm sure they've had to go up against like some pretty tough teams. But G2, they beat out. So in semifinals, they beat out a 3-time world champion Korean team, and that team has also his name is Faker. So SKT Faker. Actually, I met him at PAX the year that you and I went.
Oh, crazy!
So he was. I'm not sure if he still is, but he's been dubbed like the best League of Legends player like in the world for the past several years. So unfortunately, he wasn't good enough this year to carry his team through. But I'm sure people are really happy about G2 going through because in most cases, the World's finals, like the finals specifically, it always ends up being between predominantly Asian teams. So, for example, last year was between China and Europe, but the year before was 2 Korean teams. Before that was the same 2 Korean teams. The year before that was 2 Korean teams as well. So we've also had some other Chinese teams and a Taiwanese team in finals. So it's been a while. It's been a while since we've had, other than last year, since 2011. This is one of the first. 2011 was the first time we had European teams in the finals, then 2018, so huge gap, and now 2019. So I guess it's kind of cool that 2 years in a row we've got European team making it through.
Yeah, that is cool.
Yeah. And I guess, so North American team-wise, if anybody's curious, this year, Team Liquid, I believe, that's the team, so North American team, they made it as far as just before quarterfinals. So a lot of weight was resting on them. I know a lot of people were pretty sad about North America not getting through further.
That'd have been kind of cool if they did, but that's okay.
Would have been cool. My team, so my favorite team, Cloud9, they didn't make it as far, but last year they made it to semifinals. So it's not very often. Actually, I think that was the only time North American team made it past quarterfinals was last year, Cloud9. So. I don't know. Yeah, so things are still changing at least. We've got a European team up there and a different Asian-based team. So it makes it a little bit more... I think it makes it a little bit more fun for watching the finals because it's a little bit less predictable now.
I want to watch one of these matches. What is it? What do I type in? Like, how do I find one of them?
Well, if you go to YouTube, you could probably just type LCS Worlds.
LCS Worlds. I'm just going to keep it in my as a tab so I know where to go. Sure.
Actually, you know what? If you want, I think this might even be better. If you go to watch.lolesports.com, so the website at the top.
Yeah, I just I got it.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a schedule. All the videos that are up there too. So it's a little bit easier if you wanted to watch them in order as well.
So this is like totally new thing for me. Like I don't know much about League of Legends. I played it like once or twice. Once with you, I believe, or twice with you maybe. And then I've never really watched it, but I would love to just like watch something like this that I'm totally out of my element in and just see like the best of the best go against each other. Like it would be fun. And also just to pick a team at random that I don't know anything about and just say that's my team and just watch to see if they win. So I'm just gonna do that. I don't know which one. I'll have to make it work with my schedule, but that'll be fun to watch. And then hopefully I'll have a bit more to say on the topic.
Mm-hmm. Also, if you do get a chance to watch it, I'd say keep your volume on because half of what makes it fun to watch is listening to the casters. Because I feel like the North American team or casters didn't used to be this like so ecstatic in the middle of like actually calling the plays. But over time, I guess they've just put in so much more energy. And I remember a little while back they were they were making reference to the Korean casters, because Korean casters would go nuts. Like, you can't even it's just a bunch of yelling. Like, you can't understand at all what they're saying. So then the North American one started. I think they did like kind of just like a fun video where they tried to do it. So it's like 4 different people and they're all calling the same play, but you can't understand a single thing that any individual is saying. So nowadays, you'll hear like a couple of them calling the plays, and it's just like, I can't even imagine how they can see everything that's happening, let alone call it. So it's just, it's fun to be able to listen to that too. So yeah, I'd recommend, if you haven't done it, take a watch, take a listen.
I'll take
have
a watch.
Some popcorn. Yeah. Just grab a watch. Anyway, yeah.
I'll throw in a little bit of news here that I found. Some random news. So we'll go off the League of Legends and on to the Batman. Did you see this news?
No.
There is talks of the characters being casted. So as we all know, Robert Pattinson for Batman. Talks about Andy Serkis playing Alfred.
Oh.
Yeah. Could be interesting.
Interesting.
I'd actually like to see that. If you remember Andy Serkis playing... did you watch The Prestige?
I did, yeah.
So Tesla had a right-hand man. I can't remember what his name was, but Andy Serkis played that guy. And he kind of played the henchman to Tesla the whole time. And he was so good in that movie. He was like just really loyal, really dedicated, and he had a British accent. And he was just like really playing the part well. And I'd like to see that. He'll pretty much be that, but just an older variation of that for Alfred. But that'd be really interesting to see.
Interesting. I guess I'm so caught up in his last role in Black Panther.
Oh right. Yeah.
I mean, like his look. What was his character again?
Claw.
No arm. Claw. Yeah, Claw. Not no arm, man. Claw.
Norm. Norm the no
also,
arm.
Wasn't he? He did one of the apes. Who was he? Koba? Is that his name?
Oh, he was the main ape. Yeah, and you're right. I think it was Koba.
No, I don't think he was the. Was he the main ape?
Yeah, he was the main ape.
Oh, he was
the main one. Yeah.
Oh, what? Who's Koba then? Oh, so he was Caesar.
Oh, Koba's the bad guy. Yeah, Caesar's the good guy. You're right. Sorry.
So he was. He was Koba.
I think he may have played a few apes, but he definitely played Caesar.
Okay. Well, I guess either way, I guess like now that you're saying he's gonna be Alfred, or he could be Alfred, I'm picturing like his monkey role, and I'm trying to put that into like a suit. I mean, it could work. You know, actually, I think this could be. I feel like he would do a similar job as the one who plays Alfred in Gotham. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
No.
He seems a little bit less. From like the few episodes I've seen, that the Gotham version Alfred seems a little bit less reserved, if that makes sense. You know, like Michael Caine, to me, he was on the reserve side.
Right.
Who else was an Alfred?
Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons was a. Oh, wait.
He's the new Alfred, or he has been the new Alfred.
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, so I see them all on a little bit on the reserve side, but maybe because the Alfred in Gotham he's probably younger, because Bruce is also really young, so maybe he's got that kind of younger stature. But
yeah, I bet you if I had to call it, I'd say he's not even fully gray yet. He's probably like graying in his hair.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I just recently watched not Justice League, but Batman vs Superman again, and I awkwardly liked that movie. Like, it was weird. I was watching it, I was like,
awkwardly liked it?
Yeah, like I was watching it like, this is weirdly good, like way better than I remember. And it's weird because I guess I'm not watching it with like goggles in any sense, but I was watching it, I was like, this is fun to watch, you know?
Yeah.
And Jeremy Irons himself, I was like, he's actually a really good Alfred. But I think I'm getting this with Batman. It's weird because I just watched The Dark Knight not that long ago either, and I really liked it. And I was like, man, I forgot how much I like this movie. But then watching, Batman vs Superman, it's like, oh, I like that too. I think there is just something about the Batman movies. I'm excited to see this new Batman film with Robert Pattinson. I think it's going to be good.
Who's directing this one?
I have no idea.
Okay, cool.
So they actually announced one more character, though. Now, this is in talks, so I'd say this is more rumored, but it looks like the Penguin may be the villain in the new Batman film, and the actor may be Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Oh.
I have no idea how that'll go, but I think... Did you ever see Horrible Bosses?
Which one was that one?
Jason Bateman, I can't remember the other two dudes' names.
Hey, wait, is Mark Wahlberg? I'm looking at a poster.
But it's got Jennifer Aniston, it's got Kevin Spacey, and then it's got Colin Farrell.
I don't think I've seen this.
Okay, well, the version... Okay, well, for anybody who has seen that, he plays a terrible boss in that movie. And I feel like this penguin character will be similar to the terrible boss he plays in that movie. Maybe not totally the same, but similar. I think that's more the inspiration.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Anyways, that's the only news I have. I just scrolled through Twitter and saw that and went, whoa! So...
I'm interested in that. I think anything to do with the Batman universe right now, I'm just really interested just because of, now that we've seen Joker, and seeing where, in a sense, like where that one takes place, right. Seeing the age differences between Joker and Bruce Wayne, and now we've got Robert Pattinson who's going to be playing an upcoming Batman. I just want to know if any of our questions are going to be answered in terms of when does this all take place? Are these going to be the same characters? Are they on the same universe? Like all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we get those answers soon. But if not, then at least we have Marvel.
Well, yes, it's true. It's so true.
Yeah.
And actually, before I forget, on that note, I was about to get a little bit like, oh no, all we have is superhero movies out there, and every single movie today is superhero movies. But guess what? Mm-hmm. No, nay, says me. Cuz. Yeah. Man, I haven't said cuz in a while.
What's up, cuz?
Eddie Norton.
Yep.
He directed a film recently that...
Is it Motherless Brooklyn?
That's exactly what it is. Motherless Brooklyn.
Okay, yeah. I mentioned that I saw the preview for the trailer for this maybe like 4 episodes ago, 4 or 5 episodes.
The one?
This is the one. Yeah.
That's crazy because it came on, the trailer came on the other day, and I was like, this movie looks nuts.
Yeah,
like,
it looks so good, right?
And then I was listening to a Joe Rogan podcast just today, and it was Edward Norton on Joe Rogan, and he spent like half the podcast talking about this movie, and I was like, this movie sounds so good. Like, I have to see it. So I'm so excited now to see this movie.
I really, really, really want to watch that one. It's very high on my list right now.
Sounds very cool. Sounds like a good period piece. It's 1950s New York, which just gets me already. And then it's great actors in it. And he even said, like, this is not a movie that's going to just, like, capture you in, like, 2 or 3 seconds like every other movie today. He's like, this is one of those old school movies where it's like, you got to take your time with it. Just watch it and just get involved with the characters and just enjoy the scenery and what you're
like that.
And I was like, that's cool. Like, I'm excited because I haven't had that in so long. Like, I just want a good movie like that. So
yeah.
He mentioned it to be similar to Chinatown, or Carp. I can't remember the other one.
Carp. I'm trying to picture that movie. Diem. Carp. I know Carp from the Mighty Ducks.
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right.
Nope. Okay. So that's all the news I've got. That's all the news you've got.
I'll mention one thing, and this is more on my personal life again. I started watching. I'm late to the ball for this one.
You're late to the ball.
That's a phrase, right?
Late to the gala,
or is it? Oh, late to the game. I don't know. Late to something. Whatever.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm late. I'm late everywhere. So I started watching this anime called Boku no Hero Academia. Translates to My Hero Academia. And
weirdly enough, I think I've heard of this.
It's been around for a couple years at least.
I've probably just seen the poster scroll by when I was on Crackle or something.
Yeah, or I wonder if maybe Netflix has already done it in English. I'm not really sure, but I've been watching it in Japanese. So, I mentioned before I was really into One Punch Man, and I'm totally caught up now, just waiting for new episodes to come out. So I just really needed like my One Punch Man fix, and One Punch Man is about like superheroes and villains. And I know that some friends of mine, they're already caught up. And then when I went to my DJ friend's Halloween party, he was dressed up as the main character from this anime. And so I thought, oh man, like I don't even know who this is. I gotta watch it now. So I started watching it, and it is the fix that I need while I'm waiting for more One Punch Man. If anything, it's probably even like better because I can relate a little bit more because it's about kids or like teenagers going to the superhero school. Like everybody, like there are some people that are born or sorry, they develop these. They're called quirks. So their superpowers are called quirks, and I think at a certain age, when they're like 4, is like the earliest that they can start developing it, and then eventually you can like apply to go to the superhero school where you train to be a superhero. And there's like all these different kinds of like powers and like I think there's different like classes of powers. There would be like a physical one or like sort of like a transformation one or I don't know. I can't really explain it all, but so it revolves around this one kid specifically who spoiler alert, he is chosen by like the number one hero in the world or maybe whatever area they are in to pass down his power to this kid because this kid doesn't have a quirk. So it's about him, I guess, trying to learn how to use his power, how to control it, how to make it his own. But in the meantime, he's still a kid and he's trying to compete with like all these other people, all these other kids who are like really gunning to be like the best hero of all time.
That's right in that super comfy zone for storyline. That's perfect. You got a chosen one hero storyline. You got him going to school, so there's all like the drama and relatability of school and all that, and a series, so it can keep on going. So that's very Harry Potter-esque. It's also very what's that one that everyone watched? What's the video game one? Sword Art Online.
Oh yeah.
It's very similar, like into that kind of realm. So if it's anything like those, then I feel like I could really get into that. And same with my fiance. She likes anime, but she's so specific on the shows she likes, and I think that's right in that zone. So I'm gonna try to push this one on her and see if she likes it.
Cool. Yeah, let me know if you both like it.
I'm gonna probably watch a few episodes of this until the next time we talk, and then I'll have some info on that as well.
Awesome.
Cool. I like the sound of this. Thank you. You're giving me great ideas. I've got new tabs for all these things.
That's what ends up happening to me too, because we'll be talking and I keep opening new tabs, and then my Chrome gets slower and slower. So then every time I want to look up something new, it takes me like 3 minutes.
Cool. I like that. My Hero Academia. Good. Yeah. Thanks for the recommendation. Solid. I'm gonna watch that. Okay, so my topic is actually pretty quick. It's not a very long topic, but it's just something I wanted to go through. With the new Batman castings, it kind of spurred my mind a little bit. And I thought, let's get our creative juices flowing. I'm just going to take topic number 1, by the way. We're in topic number 1 territory.
Okay, cool. Let me just grab my bottle of creative juice.
Okay, so creative juice. So we are the owners of Hollywood. We're Mr. and Mr. Hollywood. We're not married. We just happen to have the same last name.
Okay.
And
we're not brothers?
We get to decide everything that happens in Hollywood right now. So the new Batman movie's coming out. Sure, fine, blah. We are in charge of making the remake of Superman. It's fresh territory now. This is like, let's just say the Joker universe and the Batman one may be tied together. We're still not sure. But this Batman is going to be kind of rebooting everything. So now we get to recast what's going to be a whole new superhero movie, Superman movie, I mean, and we get to totally create whatever we would want for Superman. Now, I chose this because for me, I don't really like Superman that much. I like Batman way more. And I had an idea of something I wanted for Superman way back when Christopher Nolan and Zack Snyder were going to do Man of Steel. Mm-hmm. And I was so excited for that movie because I wanted to see a different style of Superman. But then we got what we got. So here we go. We're a clean slate. Creative juice is flowing. Who are you going to cast as your Superman? And like, what kind of Superman are we going to see? What kind of setting? What time period? All that kind of stuff. I want to hear whatever you're thinking right now. What do you want from this?
Okay, Superman will be Colin Farrell. Because Colin Farrell spent a whole movie in a phone booth, so I'm sure he's very familiar with being in that one, and he can change his outfit so quickly.
Phone booth, wow, that's old school Superman. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's not even a thing anymore. That's kind of sad.
Yeah,
let's bring back the phone booths. I get no, there aren't any phone booths. I guess he'd have to go to like a Wi-Fi lobby instead or something. Or like you'll just go to an internet cafe and hey, can I borrow
internet cafe, yeah.
And then just change there.
In the back. Do you guys have a bathroom?
Do you have a? Can I get the corner computer, please? That's a good question. Casting somebody for Superman. So now I guess
think of the setting first, and then think of your actor.
Setting as in like where is it going to take place? Who's going to be the? Like, what
yeah, like
be
if
the
you think about
ultimate
the
storyline?
origins of Superman, like where's your movie going to start? Is your movie starting with like showing Superman's origins, or is your movie like going full on into middle of his life, or like where's your movie going to start? What would you rather see of Superman right now?
Oh, that's so tough. But I think just because we've had enough Superman, I don't know, or maybe we just had enough origin movies in general. I wouldn't want to start with an origin movie. I wouldn't mind just adding some flashbacks here and there. So
okay,
I would probably like to see a Superman who has his powers already developed. So I guess that's similar to Henry Cavill's Superman, right? Because that's how that movie started. Like, he already had all his powers.
Yes. Man of Steel, you mean?
Yeah, Man of Steel. That's right.
So Man of Steel is like in the height, or I'd say it's right at him discovering. No, it's right at him fully utilizing his powers, but flashbacking to him discovering those powers.
Okay. I guess mine would be, probably taking place in a similar place. I guess like I would want him to already be working at the Daily Planet. I was gonna say Daily Bugle.
I was gonna say it too. It's funny.
So working at the Daily Planet, Lois Lane is there, but doesn't know that he's Superman, so they're not dating or anything yet. And geez, I have no AC Slater. No, not AC Slater. What was his name? Wait, what's the actor's name that plays AC Slater? In something Gomez? No, he's not Selena Gomez. Oh,
I don't even know who AC Slater is. Who's AC Slater?
From Saved by the Bell? Did you ever watch Saved by the Bell?
Oh, yeah. No, I watch Saved by the Bell all the time. But what? I don't remember this character.
He was like the military guy.
The Latino guy.
Yeah, Latino guy. Was he Latino?
What's his name?
Why can I not remember his name? Why can't I find him?
Is it Jesse or something?
Oh, Mario Lopez. Oh, jeez.
Mario Lopez.
Wow, that's terrible. Okay, so Mario Lopez, but no, I wouldn't make him. Okay, so if we're taking place, he's already got his powers. Now, I guess the question would be, do I play to the look of Spider-Man, or do I play just on acting skills alone?
Maybe you want to play to the look of Superman and then see how the acting skills.
Stupid Daily Bugle. No. I'm gonna play to the look of Spider-Man first.
You
to cast my
choose,
Superman.
Spider-Man.
It's going to be Tobey Maguire.
I don't know. It's up to you, man. It's however you want to see it.
I don't know. I think that I can't really picture anybody who's kind of like an up and coming actor, or somebody that I see like already fits the role. Because I kind of like what you said before. You were saying like Chris Evans could have been like a good Superman, right?
Yeah. I think he could have been a Superman quite easily. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I agree. Like, I would want somebody who easily plays that altruistic role like he does, or I guess like he can really pull it off. I can't picture anybody off the top of my head. Did you have somebody in mind?
I actually don't have anybody in mind, but just thinking about it right now, actually, what if, like, it's a shame that he's in Wonder Woman, but Chris Pine from Wonder Woman was really good in Wonder Woman as Jack or whatever his name was. I don't remember his name. But I feel like he actually would have been a pretty good guy. He might be a little bit on the older side now, though. I'd like to see somebody a bit younger playing Superman. But in that movie, he shows some good characteristics that are very Superman-esque. And I think that he could have been a good Superman.
Wait, did you want somebody young, kind of like a Peter Parker kind of young?
Sorry,
not a Peter Parker. I mean, a Tom Holland kind of young.
No, not too young, not the Tom Holland type. Personally, I would like to see somebody who's around the age of a Robert Pattinson, because I think that they should be about the same age during these movies. Yeah. And so I would actually like to see a Superman who's just come out of high school, who's still living in like Kansas and maybe on his way to the big city, a metropolis, and maybe to like he's still like a small fish in a like or whatever, you know, he's a small fish in a large ocean kind of thing. Like he's going into the metropolis, kind of like Zootopia, and it's like a whole new thing for him. He's trying to learn living in the city and trying to be that, but he's a country boy. So for him, he's trying to go through all that kind of stuff. He's a very optimistic, very happy-go-lucky person, but there's this terrible city where all these terrible things are happening all the time, and he's trying to deal with all that. I think we see less of the Superman role and more of just like the Clark Kent role for a lot of that movie until he has to then don the suit and become full-on Superman all the time while doing this kind of stuff. So I'd like to see a younger person take that, someone around the age of Robert Pattinson, but I don't know. Oh, maybe someone from the Game of Thrones cast. Anybody in there, that would be good. Like, we had a lot of adolescent kind of men. Peter Dinklage, there we go. There's our Probably. Superman. Maybe the guy who played Robb Stark or somebody similar to that kind of age. Someone around that time is what I'd be thinking.
Who is in that? Well, I mean, I guess then you could... like Kit Harington probably would have been somebody along that line.
I like Kit Harington's style, but I don't think he would work well for Superman. I don't see it really for Superman, but maybe he'd be good. I'm not sure. I don't really see that.
I'm not sure if I see it either. I was gonna mention so Joe Manganiello, I think I'm saying that right. He was actually, I didn't realize that he was in it, but he's going to be. Wait, when was Justice League? Because it says he's in Justice. Oh, he's. In Justice League, he was credited as Mr. Wilson, so Slade Wilson. So he's going to be playing Slade, but I don't know. Yeah, from either him or I might have been thinking of somebody else, but no, it was him. I can almost picture him, like he's a little bit on the older side, like older than Kit Harington, but...
He looks like a good replacement for the Superman we have right now. Like, he's the right age for, like, let's say we need a new Superman at the same time period as the one we just saw in Justice League.
Yeah.
I'd say he's really good for that. And yeah, he's a great Superman kind of cast, actually, I think. Just not necessarily for the age I'm looking for.
Right. I think, just Joe Manganiello has, he, like, carries him... Like, his roles, he seems like he just carries himself in the way that it would really work for Superman.
Yeah, I can see that. He'd really work.
Yeah. Otherwise, oh man, I really don't know a lot of young...
They should do that dude from Twilight that was with Robert Pattinson, the one who was the other dude.
Oh, Jacob Lautner.
That's the one,
right?
They should have that dude play Superman, and then you've got same rivalry because you'd have like Team whatever and then Team Edward.
You know who I'm actually interested? Like, I would be really curious to know how this would work. What's the kid from something Ender's Game?
Oh yeah,
Ender's Game actor. What's your name? See, my Chrome already has way too many tabs, and I just can't. I can't get anything going on. This is.
Oh, you know what? There's another actor.
Okay, Asa Butterfield. I guess his name, or Asa. So yeah, that guy who plays Ender in Ender's Game. I can picture him doing. I guess he'd have to be the younger Bruce Wayne. And then let's just take the rest of this cast.
Younger Clark Kent.
Man, I can't. Okay,
He would be good. I can actually really see him. I can see him easily as Clark Kent. Holy smokes.
So the reason why I said Bruce Wayne was because I was looking at Ben Kingsley and I was going to say, he could be Alfred. But then, yeah. I cannot stick on the path today.
Okay. I've got a few actors in mind.
Okay.
So the one you just said, I really like. I think he'd actually be one of the best. That's crazy. I didn't really realize it, but he's got a really good facial structure for it, and he'd be great as a young Superman, and he's going to age really quick. So they want to start like now, I think.
He's going to age really quick?
Well, I mean, you look at him now, he still looks like a little bit like a kid, right?
Okay, I thought he meant like, he's already doing a lot of drugs, so pretty soon he's going to look really old.
I mean, the Tom Holland effect. Like, he looks young, but he's about to look old, right? He's about to look like an actual adult. So the photo on IMDb, I don't know if you can see it of him with the glasses where he like looks.
Yep. Yeah, and he's wearing that kind of
that's
like
the perfect photo for him to like pretend to be Clark Kent. The other person I think might not be that bad actually, and just looking at their IMDb profile is Ty Sheridan from
that sounds so
Ready Player One.
Oh yeah.
I think he would also not be a bad Superman at all. I think he's got a look for it.
Interesting.
And then
still on the younger side, yeah.
Yeah. So I'd be looking for that younger kind of one.
Wow, he's only 22.
And then last one, I don't know. He's too young right now, and maybe he's not right for it. I don't know. Nah, he's probably not there yet. Give him a couple of years and we'll see. But that dude from Love Actually, the little boy.
Oh, wait. You mean the one who, like, he's in Game of Thrones, that kid?
Yeah, that kid. Yeah,
like
he's in Game of Thrones. Jojen Reed.
Wow.
Give him a couple of years, like let him fill out, let him get a bit older. But that dude could probably play Superman really well.
Interesting.
Wouldn't that be great? Like personally, I'm an old school Smallville fan. Like I only really like season 1 and 2. But wouldn't it be great to see like a bit of Superman like back in just like a regular role instead of being like this almighty guy? Like I just kind of want to bring him back to his roots, bring him back to country boy kid from Nebraska, wherever he's from. Let's see that again. So I don't know. I'm rooting for one of these three guys: Thomas Brody Sangster, Ty Sheridan, or Asa Butterfield. So that's my lock-in. And you know what? What we say on this podcast goes. So that's what's going to happen. One of those three is going to become Superman, and they're going to remake it, and I think that's what's going to happen.
And if not,
Locking it in.
I wouldn't be against Thomas Brody Sangster being Zod in some form.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Like a young Zod, I guess, but yeah.
What about a young Lex Luthor? Why not?
You know what? Lex Luthor is such a specific character. I can't ever picture anybody playing that character well enough.
Yeah.
It's hard to... I mean, like, I hate to say that, but, like, Kevin Spacey, like, I didn't mind that direction, but he was... there was some sort of, like a really weird snobbery that I got from Kevin Spacey's character that I don't really associate as much with Lex Luthor.
I actually didn't mind the Smallville version of Lex Luthor. I liked how he had hair for a long time and then eventually got that shaved.
Yeah, actually, I did like him.
He was not bad. And like, I think what was great about him is we got to see his vulnerabilities alongside Clark Kent all the time. And then he got better and better and better as time went on.
Mm-hmm. Michael Rosenbaum. Yeah, he did do a good job.
He wasn't bad.
Yeah.
I honestly think once you make these characters younger, if you bring it a young Lois Lane, you bring in a young Clark Kent and a young Yark and a young Lex Luthor, I think you could really make us relate to these characters better and then build upon that. Instead of just throwing us right smack dab in the middle of it. Okay. I'm talking full-on origin film. Let's do it, baby.
Cool. Okay, so if you were to do an origin reboot, who would be the main antagonist?
That's tough. I'd have to make it small.
Yeah.
I'd be modeling. Let's get guy from Game of Thrones in here, Peter Dinklage. I'd be modeling the movie after the Spiderman Homecoming.
Well, that's what I've been doing.
It. Yeah, apparently. But I'd model it after that kind of structure. So the villain is a little bit small time. We're not talking about killing the villain at all. It's just a villain that happens to... I wouldn't say he knows Clark Kent's identity as Superman, but maybe threatens something to do with that and threatens something to do with Lois Lane and like maybe a bit of Metropolis. But I don't want like a full world destroying event to be happening.
Yeah.
I don't want Metropolis to be like blown up or any kind of crazy action scene. I just want a small time, nice, concise film with a solid villain that's not super maniacal.
But the issue with that, I mean, I can't think of any off the top of my head, and it's probably from my lack of knowledge, but at least from what we've seen, what we're exposed to in some of the movies is that, like, Superman pretty much can take on anybody on Earth,
right? Other
than quote unquote Lex Luthor, because he's got enough of like money and resources and kryptonite at somehow, right? So I find it could be very difficult to find somebody who is not like threatening the Earth from outside of Earth, if you know what I mean.
But Superman's weakness is all the people around him, the people of Metropolis, right? So if you harm the people of Metropolis, you're harming Superman. So I feel like that one of the best scenes in the first Spider-Man film was when Green Goblin's holding... I was actually just joking about it, just like... I don't know, 20 minutes ago, when Green Goblin's holding up the cable car in one hand and Mary Jane in the other, and he says, "Choose, make your choice, Spider-Man," or whatever, and drops them both. Yeah. Like, Spider-Man's got all the power in the world, but trying to save both those things was incredibly hard for him. And I think he barely does it, but it was a huge test of strength for him. So, sure, Superman can do a lot of stuff, and he's really, really amazing. But that's the thing. We got to show vulnerabilities, and his vulnerabilities is the people around him and them getting harmed. So a villain might not shoot at him. He might just start shooting at everybody else. And that's Superman's problem. So, I don't know. It's hard. It's definitely not easy to make a Superman film. Hopefully somebody can do it.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, well, that's my topic number 1. Let's move on to the Scumm Bar spinner. Anth0z,
You mean the wheel of scum?
That's the one. Cue the music. On the wheel of scum, we have 6 different options, actually 7 that we could choose from. And number 1 is Pirate Adventure. Number 2 is I Can't Believe It's Not Better. Number 3 is Crossover Crossbover. Number 4, Tit for Tat from Anth and Matt. Number 5, Who Wants to Be Scum Millionaire. Number 6, Swashbuckler. And number 7, Across the Universe. Anth0z, if you let me share my screen for 2 seconds here, would you please spin the wheel?
Ooh, it's like Christmas colors.
Yeah, I figured that's our next holiday.
Is it? Wait, Remembrance Day.
I thought you said click.
I didn't, but that was a premature click.
I'm so sorry.
It's okay. Hey, it's better this way. It's better that we get to the we pick our game sooner than later. No, it's okay. I totally threw you off. It was like Ace Ventura 2, trying to do the whole Chicago thing. Chicago. Shawshank Redemption.
Okay, we've landed on Swashbuckler.
Ooh.
And it's time to show your true pirate skills. Mattbrush and Anth0z will sword fight to the death with wit. Roll the dice. Whichever number you land on is the category. Each fighter must say a word from that category that begins with the letter at the end of the last word said. If that didn't make any sense at all, just listen on, because you'll see as Anth0z and I prepare with this game. Anth0z, please roll the dice.
I did. It's a 1.
You got a 1?
I got a 1.
Okay, well, 1 was countries, and I think we wanted to X-nay countries since last time, because remember we got stuck on A's?
Right.
So let's re-roll the dice, and actually let's come up with a new category for countries. Something else.
Wait, what are the topics we have right now?
We have celebrities, animals, movie titles, video game titles, fictional characters.
I was gonna say colors, but no.
How about food?
But okay.
And how about we do food this time? Because we've never done it before.
Okay, sure. Great.
Okay. And then we should probably come up with other ones for the other things too, because I think we've done them all now. Okay. Here we go. We're going to start on food. I'm going to put the timer up. It is 1 minute for each answer.
Wait, before we start, are there any kind of limitations? Like raw, cooked? Like, I don't know.
I don't think we should put a limitation on it, knowing us.
Based on how we're okay, sure.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna share the timer with you so you can also see it. I feel like you never get to see the timer, so here we go. Are you ready?
It's gonna make me nervous.
Yeah, I know. That's what I did last time. I lost. If you remember that. All right, here we go. And I'm gonna start.
Okay.
Just so you know, here we go. I just watched that episode. Nice. Okay, here we go. Fettuccine Alfredo.
Okay. Oranges.
Oh, geez, that was fast. Okay. Spaghetti.
Ice cream.
Ooh. Macaroni and cheese.
Ooh.
Why, it's gonna be all
escargot.
Escargot. Oh.
Nope.
You already said orange juice, didn't you?
Escargot ends with a T. It's a silent T.
Oh, you're right. Thank you. Oh, man, I would have lost. Just constantly trying to do O's. T.
There's a passive that starts with T. Okay, fine. Enchilada.
Enchilada. Hello,
Here I am at enchilada.
Okay, we're switching the timer to 30 now. So enchilada ends in an A, so I'm going to say anchovy. Z.
Okay, so with S. You already said spaghetti. What's that word? I want to do it. But I won't. Okay. Sugar. I figured out the word I was going to say now.
R. Ratatouille.
Ooh, that ends with an I, right? Or is it E?
It ends in an E. You help me with the silent T, I'll help you with E.
Okay. Empanada.
Empanada? Okay, I got an A.
Empanada, I think. Empanada.
Oh, you're right. It is empanada, yeah. A. Apple.
What's with these E's? Eggs.
Oh. Okay, I'm switching it down. We're going to speed round. Are you ready?
Oh, no.
Apparently food is really easy for us. with the lightning round. We're on 10 seconds now. Eggs. So it's an S. So salmon.
Oh, jeez.
5, 4, 3,
Nike.
2, 1.
No
0!
one's. No, darn it. Oh, the stupid timer.
Oh,
Man.
wow. Food's a good one because I know that you're very passionate about food. So for you, it's I think that might be your best category. I think is food.
Whew.
That was good. Good job.
Not today, though.
We're the opponent.
All right.
Opponent. Good job.
work. Good work, Captain Duck.
We did well on the wheel of scum.
Scum.
Great. Now we're going to move on to something I like to specially call myself personally. Topic number 2.
Cool.
Anth0z, please get into topic number 2.
Okay. What is my topic? Oh, I'm reading the wrong notes. That could be a topic. Reading the wrong things and seeing
Oranges,
what happens.
Apples, pears. Whoops.
So, my topic, actually, it almost kind of feeds off of your first topic because, well, in a way,
Stop copying me.
but I like it. So my topic is, another one of those, like we'll interact, grab our creative juice bottles.
Oh, yeah.
And,
my creative juice bottles are flowing.
Yeah, I see them flowing out of your nose and
my mustache
down and next to your handlebar creative juice.
Maybe we're just gonna ride out of here.
So my topic is what makes a good movie, and this is gonna be very subjective, right? Because I don't think it's anything that's factual per se, but like what are the ingredients that makes a good movie? Is it a mixture of having good actors, storyline, cinematography, the music? Like what are the key ingredients that you need to make a truly good movie? So
Wow.
I can't say that I can narrow any one of those things down because like I thought of those things because like I kind of need to have all those in place to really have a good movie at the least.
Mm-hmm.
I've talked a lot to people about how I really like storylines a lot more than anything else these days, and I think it's because if I'm gonna sit down and watch a movie, I want to have my questions answered. I hopefully want to go on some sort of journey with the character. I want it to make sense. Like I don't want any gaps in there. And I feel like that's all kind of related to storyline. Like how does the actor go from point A to point B to point C to point D? How do you transition all those things together? And what is it that propels the actor through like along this journey? Does it all make sense? Is it still gripping? Do I get a sense of like all different kinds of emotions, that kind of thing? So for me, storyline would be like one of the top things. The other ones, like it's nice if they can be pretty solid too, but I find like if there's a good storyline, I find it is still a good movie. And in terms of acting, I find, I guess because there are some characters that you see like you can't quite tell if that person is acting the way they are because they're using like their skill as an actor or because maybe they're genuinely just like that. You know what I mean? I wish I could think of some examples, but anyway, that's like a jumping off point. But I don't know. Do you have any thoughts at this point?
I kind of just agree with you on what you were saying. Like I don't have too much more to add, really. I like storyline in movies. One of my favorite movies, as you know, is Rocky, and I think Rocky's amazing. And I think only Sylvester Stallone could have pulled it off. But at the same time, if you didn't know who Sylvester Stallone was, it's not like that movie would be bad. So it's not the actor that's getting you. The acting might be, but the story above all is what's getting you, I think, about Rocky. And thinking about like Troy, Troy is another one of my favorite movies. And Troy I loved, but I'm not a big Brad Pitt fan. I'm not a big Eric Bana fan. I'm really not an Orlando Bloom fan. But I love that movie, and those three actors are great in that movie, like really, really good in that movie. Mm-hmm. And again, it's not the actors getting me; it's definitely the story getting me and how they're telling the story. And I love storytelling, so for me, it's all story, and I think story above all is what makes a good film.
Yeah.
To take it like to a deeper, more technical level, I'm sure editing plays a larger part in films and
sure.
and how important they are. Troy is a long movie, but a good one because it's edited well to get you to get each of the acts, like to make each of the acts interesting and to feel like they're all progressing up to something greater and larger. Meanwhile, another movie that's very long and very similar is Alexander the Great with Colin Farrell, and it's also very long, but it's like the editing is so jumbled and there's not very specific acts in it to the point where you feel like it's a long movie and you don't know where it's going. Troy is very obvious. You know exactly where it's going. You know it's going to some kind of Trojan horse, and it's going to be about the Greeks trying to get in to take over Troy. But in Alexander the Great, you're like, okay, I know he's going to conquer a bunch of stuff. I don't know how far he's going to conquer for, and I know there's going to be strife along the way. But that's about all you know. You don't know the end game. So I don't know. It's about editing as well to keep the pacing going of movies. So I'm sure storyline is like the biggest thing overall, but there's a lot of little things, and editing's one that I noticed a lot in movies. So
yeah, well, okay. So in addition to editing, because like before you have editing, you have to have something to edit. So I was gonna kind of segue to cinematography, basically.
Ooh.
So I'm gonna mention two specific movies. One, Rocky, because you mentioned that already. Two will be Spider-Man Far From Home. So when I think of good cinematography, I think what is it that is on screen, like the angle, the details, the environment, the character, whatever it is, like what is in that scene that is making me understand the feeling of that scene, and it's getting me to connect to something. So when I think of Rocky, like cinematography, so the reason why I'm using these two examples is because like they're completely opposite ends of the spectrum. Spider-Man Far From Home having a lot of CGI options.
It's very loud.
And yeah, exactly, very loud, very vibrant, so colorful. Whereas you have Rocky,
very muted.
A lot more kind of yeah. So because like they're trying to get to that like what was it, 60s? I think 60s time frame. Oh, 70s. So yeah, they're trying to get like that 70s kind of like ghetto feel in Philadelphia. And so they use a lot of muted colors, very dark, more like almost like the neutral sepia kind of tones, right?
Right.
But no CGI. So when I think of cinematography for there, or when I at least think of like some specific scenes where I really get this feeling of what is in that scene, it's when Rocky is literally just walking down the street, throwing that ball, right? Yep. And it's just like, it's usually some sort of long shot. Like you don't see, from what I remember, you don't see just like upper body and just like the ball going in and out of the frame, but you see his whole body. You see the ball bouncing. You see his feet. You see you see the sidewalk. You see like the bricks on the wall and like what is like next to that building, because it's like
he's part of the background. Like he's part of the set.
Yeah.
Like he's
exactly.
He's not the focal point. It's like Philadelphia is the focal point in that movie, and he's just a part of this living, breathing universe.
Yeah, exactly. So what I like about Rocky specifically in those scenes is that, the movie, sure, it's about his rising up, but it's very much about him being where he lives, right? Like he's kind of like the epitome of somebody living in that kind of ghetto area, but except for he's the one who is that we see. He's trying to like strive above all of it, and he's trying to push himself forward. He's always trying to move forward, right? Yeah. So either way, when I see those long shots or like those zoomed out shots where he's in that scene, or those kind of scenes, like I really like that, because I feel like I'm kind of with him there, or I feel like I can connect with him being there, and I can connect with like the emotion that I think I'm supposed to be getting from that scene. So now Spider-Man Far From Home, I know I mentioned this before, but what I really, really, really liked was when he was fighting Mysterio, and Spider-Man lost his senses because he was in Mysterio's, like in his teams, like in the cameras.
So very dramatized, very exaggerated.
Very exaggerated, and they were keeping him like off track by putting him in this kind of like virtual world. Like he couldn't tell like what was up or what was down. He couldn't tell how close things actually were. Like he had no depth. He pretty much lost all senses. And that's kind of how I felt when I was in that movie too, like watching those scenes. Like I felt like I got sucked into exactly how Spider-Man felt, which is that's why I really liked. To the point
where actually, yes, and on that note, there was a really good trick where you think what you think is happening, when you're watching it, you're not sure if what you're watching now is reality. even when he gets out, you're half expecting him to not be out anymore, right?
Yeah.
So you're like, oh, is he going to be tricked? Is he going to be tricked? And you're waiting for it. And then you even see it on Peter Parker when he's just like, when he sees Happy, you know? He's like, Happy, like, are you happy or whatever? He's like trying to like figure out, is this reality or is this not? That's exactly how you feel as the audience member. So that's a really good point. Yeah, I even feel that watching it. I watched it again not that long ago, and I felt that same feeling going through that scene. It's like wondering, that little bit of trickery is really well done to put you in the movie. That's a good point. I never thought about that.
Yeah. So I would say those are kind of some of the things that stand out for me. Actor-wise, I mean, like, I'm always going to hope for really good actors, but I'm also like very much of a loyalty kind of person.
Right.
So like I'll watch like any Will Smith movie. If Robin Williams were still around, I'd be watching every one of his movies. If Jackie Chan were to release a movie, I would just watch it. Yeah. So like,
but a thing too is what is really bad acting? Like what is bad acting in a good movie?
Good question.
Is there a perfect storyline movie out there, right? That's like so good and everything's good about it, but the acting is bad, so the movie's not good. Because that's hard to see.
I guess it is, yeah. I wish I could. Maybe I'll think of something by the end of this episode, but
for me, the exact opposite of my question here is Joker. I've said this before, but I actually think the script to Joker is pretty mediocre. I don't think the script is all that great. But I think the acting is so good that it's elevating the script. And I think that's pretty common today because I think we actually have some all-star actors still alive today doing some great stuff. And it's really cool to see that kind of stuff. Let's say, what's that movie that had Leo in it where he was in the woods and the bear attacks him?
The Revenant.
The Revenant. Yeah. I actually think that movie was very long-paced. Like it was a really long, drawn-out film. Slow. And the script was maybe a bit better than mediocre, but wasn't amazing, right? It was just like an okay movie. But Tom Hardy is fantastic at that film, and Leo is really good in that film as well.
Yeah.
And I think those two actors made it so that film seems like it's a great movie. So I think it's like a facade almost. It's like I wouldn't call that in like the top 100 best movies ever. Like I would not say that's a good movie in my standard of movies.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say it's a bad movie either, and I think it's because the acting elevated it. So I think it's easy to see when a script is bad and the acting is good, but it's hard to see when a script is good and the acting is bad. That's really hard to tell.
Wait, I'm trying to replay what you just said, but I think I understand, yeah.
Yeah. So it's easy to see, in my opinion. I can see Joker, and I can see it plain as day for me, that Joker's not written all that great, but it's acted really well. I can't see another movie, for example. I couldn't see like Justice League and be like, this was a great script and the acting is terrible. Like I can't see that. So
right,
it's really tough to see that, and I think that just says a lot about writing for our movies and like how good they are. It's all about that script in the first place.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That I'd say that's true. Yeah, they kind of go hand in hand in that sense. And what else was I thinking? So music, I find music plays a very big part in me being able to feel the emotion.
That's why you like Rocky so much.
So I did want to allude to Rocky. I wanted to find some other example, but
Joker.
What was the music in Joker? Like Joker was
Joker starts off
mainly
with
like
just
eerie.
Joker starts off with really somber, eerie ambient music. And by the end of Joker, it's getting to big brass, big band kind of style. Is it Dean Martin? No, it's Frank Sinatra by the end of it. Like it's all in your face as he's coming down the steps, right? Like it builds the confidence in the music as the movie goes on. It's really well done, actually. It's just like the next time you watch Joker, if you watch it again, that would be the thing you should definitely pay attention to is the music, because it's fantastic as it goes by. There's like a guy who does a whole video essay on it I was watching recently, and it's just really cool how I didn't even notice the first time I watched it, but it's really good.
Cool. Well, anyway, so with Rocky, at least what I'm picturing right now is, and it's going to be similar to while he's like walking down the streets, is that the music that's playing, it's already a familiar melody because it's still not the Eye of the Tiger, is it?
No, his theme?
Yeah.
That's just his theme. Yeah.
Okay, so theme from Rocky, I guess.
Which you do hear in the title credits to the movie. So you've already, like, as an audience member, you know that theme.
Right.
Going into the rest of the film.
So, but yeah, so that's what I like about what they did with the music there is that, like they do really, really, really well in terms of matching what's happening in those scenes. So I think, yeah, when he's walking down the streets, it's just like a piano version or some sort of like very, very stripped down version of the theme.
It's actually, that's exactly it. It's that do.
Yeah, and it's slower. Yeah, but it's still so recognizable
so
and
good. Oh.
Yeah, it just matches so well, right?
Anybody at home, just throw that one. I don't know what it's called, like sad theme from Rocky, but it's so good, and it is just the Rocky theme, but it's so good.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna mention this movie anyway. So, Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End. So. This is my wife's and I.
If we had a bingo for our podcast, yours would be Pirates of the Caribbean at World's End.
Yeah, so like that is my wife's and I and my whatever the grammar is. It's our favorite Pirates of the Caribbean album, and what we really liked about it was they still had the original like the original hook from. Like he's a pirate, but they also added kind of like a secondary. Well, I wouldn't even call it a secondary, but an additional main hook, and it just makes it's so it's just
What's
so
it called
epic.
Again?
At World's End.
No, what's the song?
Oh, Drink Up Me Heart Is Yo Ho, or you mean like so he's a pirate is the one with But
the At World's End version is called.
Drink Up Me Heart Is Yo Ho, and it's kind of like this. It's like a 7-minute long epic version of it. Almost kind of like culminates the whole movie because like it'll start off kind of slow. Kind of reminds me of our podcast name actually, because it's like an accordion and it's like somebody. It makes me picture somebody like walking up to some bar in the middle of the ocean or something.
Nice.
Cool. Yeah, and then it has this nice. I would say that the song itself has a very nice trajectory in terms of like the way that it builds up, keeps some of that intensity, even though it's kind of bringing it down. So like we've kind of like gone past the climax, but there's still a bit of that intensity before the ending. So I find just like that song alone, but like the whole album. When I rewatched the movie, just paying attention to the music, everything was like, oh, this is so awesome! Keep going! Yes, I love it, kind of thing. It was just like when Jack Sparrow he starts rocking the boat. So the song is called "Up Is Down," and he starts like all of a sudden he starts pretending like he sees something. Like far off in the distance, so everybody follows him, and he's like, "Oh no, wait!" And then he runs to the other side, and then they all follow him. But as soon as they follow him to that side, he runs the other way. Yeah. And then they're like, "What?" So then they keep following him back and forth. But then in the end, they realize like, "Oh, he's trying to just go back and forth because they see that every time he moves to one side and they follow him, the boat's actually rocking." And so they do it all the way until like the whole boat turns upside down. But just the song itself, "Up Is Down," like in the moment, it just like it's such a fun song that really matches the fact that they're like on this giant boat and they are using their own just like running back and forth to rock it, like they're just using their bodies, right? And it's so like it's almost like so unimaginable, but it's something that I would picture as like a kid on a playground, like just going to have fun on whatever, like the nearest big playground slide thing or whatever object he sees, and like you've got this like fun carousel music playing in your head. And I found so "Up Is Down" just matched so well with that one scene where they're rocking the boat. Anyways, so music is one thing that I find like it's pretty key. It doesn't always have to be as important to me as like storyline or maybe even cinematography, but you know, all these things will inevitably connect. Or at least like when they do connect is when they are so much more powerful. That's
a really good point. I do forget about how important music is in movies. That's another huge component to it. There's a lot going on for movies that it's almost scary when they're being made. Like I'm glad I'm not a director or something. That would be really freaky, just hoping that everything is going to work out. Imagine directing Pirates of the Caribbean and all the things that you'd be worried about going wrong. You know, what if this isn't as funny as I want it to be, or what if the story isn't as good as I want it to be? What if the acting doesn't turn out as great? And what if the music isn't as memorable as I want it to be? And then not only finding that like even one of those components ended up being like a miracle, all of them ended up being great. Everything about the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie ended up just being amazing. It's like one of the closest movies to a perfect movie. It's so good. It's just so easy to watch for anyone. But it's like being the director in the time of making it. That's got to be freaky. There's just so many components, everything flying in the air. You just got to hope that everyone can come together and make something magical. And that's also what's really cool is there's so many people working on it together that when it does work, that's just so good. That's such a great feeling that all these people got to make that one thing.
Yeah, exactly. Also, I just realized, like, so to your point, being the director and putting everything together, hoping that it all works. But think of something like Avengers Endgame, where I think, 95% of it must have been all in CGI. You've got Josh Brolin, who has got like this giant Thanos head like sticking up out of his back so that that their actors have some sort of focus. Like when you're watching all this in action, like while you're recording, you don't see any of it in its final product other than maybe in your head. But at the same time, what's in front of you is nowhere near complete. You still have to go through, like you said, like the whole editing process. So like imagining what it must be like to be a director in that position, watching that all unfold before it even gets to the vision, like visually being able to see what it's supposed to look like must be so difficult. So props to those directors who have to deal with that.
Yeah, that's a lot. That'd be freaky. I'm nervous now just thinking about it.
So yeah, that's my topic.
Cool. Great. I like it. Cool. It made me think. Made me use my noggin.
Made me think too. I'm tired.
All right, well, Anth0z, I believe that's the time of the day where I like to say, where can the audience find you?
Well, if you want to find me. And I promise I am still there. I think I said last time that I would be tweeting, but I haven't been tweeting, and I'm going to try to
You know who did tweet last time? This guy!
You did twice.
I remembered!
I think. You did twice, didn't you? You did remember. You know,
I think I only tweeted the Halloween episode. I didn't tweet last time's episode, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Well, the reason why I don't tweet is because, like, I want to, like, after you've tweeted it, I want to listen to the whole thing and make sure, like, I know exactly what I'm gonna put in my tweet, in my retweet. Yeah. Like, what are the hashtags? What are gonna be my keywords? And I just, it's so daunting because I know.
Don't put that much effort into it. Just make a tweet. That's don't put that amount of effort. That's too much.
All right, fine.
You're overthinking it.
Yeah, maybe I am. I just want to do my part, you know? Just do my part for society.
Also on me, I'll let you know when I upload it, because I don't think I ever let you know anymore. I used to let you know right away, so now I'll let you know when I upload.
Oh, it's fine. I get notifications. I am actually subscribed to you. I follow you. I follow you everywhere. Cast Mattbrush. Or whoever you go by.
That makes me feel so special.
Mattbrush Gaming.
Anth0z, the audience is waiting. Where can they find you?
Oh, well, thanks for your patience. If you want to find me, you can find me on Twitter at Anth0z1. That's at ANTH0Z1.
And if you want to find me, you can find me at Mattbrush Gaming on Twitter, as well as Mattbrush Gaming on YouTube. If you want to listen to this podcast in video form, I don't know how you do that, but it's kind of weird. You can go to YouTube and type in Mattbrush Gaming, and then it'll find this Scumm Bar Podcast right on there, episode 41. If you want to listen to us like a regular podcast, you can just go to any of your podcast platforms, and guess what? We're right there! We're on Spotify, we're on Stitcher, we're on Podbean, we're on iTunes,
probably,
and many more. We're probably on Uber, soon enough.
Probably.
I don't even know, but
and
I'm sure you can ask your driver.
And Chinese Uber, Chuber.
Chuber.
I'm pretty sure. I think that's what it's called.
And please leave us a review.
We've got Skip the Dishes. We've also got Chinese Skip the Dishes, so it's like Ship the Dishes. I don't know.
All right.
Anyways.
Please leave us a like or a review. Let us know what you think about the podcast. You can also, if you want to just chat or talk to us, you can just send us a message at thescummbarpodcast@gmail.com and let us know what you think, or if there's a certain topic you want to hear, or if you just want to, hear more from us. Great. Thank you all for listening so much. I really appreciate it. You guys are awesome. We noticed that there are some consecutive listeners, and we're so happy to see that. It makes us feel good knowing that we're doing this for a reason.
Yes, for you three out there.
We certainly don't do it for the two of us.
Nope. We hate this.
And on that note, on a more solemn note, actually, to bring it down to a very serious level, Anth0z wants to tell you something.
When you bring the best of all worlds, and not just both worlds, but every single world that you have near and dear to you, you will undoubtedly bring out the best in yourself, which is what you ultimately need to bring out the best in everybody and everything else. Thank you and good night.
You heard it here first, folks. The words spoken by the wise man. Everybody have a good night.
Bye.
Bye.